Right. Well, let's bring in our next speaker. So, this guy, oh my goodness, where do we even start with this guy? So, this man is truly a force to be reckoned with. He's one of those guys that he seems to be everywhere all at once. And the thing that I truly appreciate about this guy, Andy, is he's not just building an empire, but he's helping to change our industry. He's at all these different events, he's helping push us forward as an industry in a very positive direction. So, let's welcome my good friend, Andy. How are you, fella?
Andy, good to see you,
That is
man.
pretty awesome of you guys. Thank you for the nice words. Appreciate
Dude,
it.
you every time I see something on social media, you've got like another shop or you're growing at this incredible rate. It seems like every time I'm turning around, you're adding more shops. How do you look at growing this empire from a strategic standpoint? I mean, what are you trying
Oh,
to build here?
it's
World
not just
domination?
me. Trust me. I wouldn't be able to be going around to these events if it was also me hands-on growing all these facilities. No, it's great. I got to surround myself with all these fantastic people that I work with, that are coworkers. But really the growth came from traveling to all these events and making sure everybody knew what my goals were. Just like if anyone's wanting to add shops, like this year, I want to add 3 or 4 more shops. I want the world to know I want to add 3 or 4 more shops. I want my vendors, my distributors, everybody, because you know who gets the phone call when they hear something? They call you and they want to help you out, right? So that goes with any aspect of the business. If you are wanting to do like a 4-day work week, you want to broadcast it to the world because everybody's going to want to come to you and help you and point you to the direction of the people that's been successful doing it.
Yeah. That's huge. Andy, one of the things that I think everybody is struggling with is just time management, and you're always running around helping other people out, helping your teams out. How do you do it all? What do they have in the water in your neck of the woods? What's going on over
Technology. I feel like since everyone says there's an app for everything, there truly
It's coffee, Ryan. It's coffee. He
yeah.
probably, he probably has a cup like this.
That's right. Yeah, where's my big
So,
cup
and and I'd have to say, like, I am ridiculously obsessive with Jack. I like big bugs. Uh,
Cheers.
I am absolutely obsessed with being efficient in my life, and most of it has to do with AI, open AI, Chat GPT. I just actually submitted an education series to possibly teach at SEMA that's teaching ChatGPT because I tell you guys, until you actually learn just by messing around with it, which is a free software,
Yeah,
how much that actually takes out of your life and out of your
I use it all the
even thinking
time.
about it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
use it all the time. It's amazing.
Uh,
I don't use Google anymore because, right, it does the searching for you. Isn't that cool?
and it knows you. It knows what you want to hear, right? So I would recommend just start talking to Chat GPT and download the app. It's free. It's gonna change everything that you know about the world.
Wow. Yeah. So that's how you get it done.
That's how I get it done. But trust me, you're talking to somebody with a whole bunch of people behind them. I'm proud. Big shout out to Doug and Jeff. They're COO and CFO of my company, and I tell you, they make it easy on me. They truly do. I think the best thing, if you're going to be removing yourself from the company, you want to have those strategic meetings scheduled, right? So we have our Mondays full of our strategic meetings with our different departments, and we have levels. And so I get to be a part of those that are in my lane, and I am constantly telling them my vision, having them follow up with me. We make notes so we know what to follow up with next week. Once again, AI is perfect for every meeting that you're in. You can create a summary of every meeting you're in just by recording it with AI, and become more efficient where now you are able to follow up on goals. follow up to make sure that everybody is doing their job in the right time, following your vision. And so we do that pretty extensively, but you don't want these to be long meetings. We do 30-minute meetings, no more, because
Yeah.
if you do an hour meeting, you're going to fill up an hour. Probably
Right.
30 minutes of it is BS. 30 minutes of everybody's time, knocking them out, and you're going to accomplish a lot in a shorter amount of time by doing it that way.
Yeah. I love your style, man. And so when you have all these team meetings, I'm assuming you're using like Zoom or something like that. And um, what?
Yeah, we use Microsoft Teams. Our whole infrastructure is built around Microsoft, and then we have Otter AI taking the summary notes. So every time we go back to that reoccurring meeting, we actually see all the notes from the previous meeting. So we constantly aren't just thinking or having to go back to this document or this or that. We're just catching up where we left off. Following them. Okay, where are you in that? Where are you that? How's the progress with this? But I tell you, like with our company, we tend to hire people outside of the industry, which I think is awesome.
Mm,
If you're going to be trying to bring in an estimator or general manager we have our director of calibration that's from Walgreens, Pete, awesome guy, right?
yeah.
Regional manager from Comcast. And so you want to hire the people that you want to be good at. So Greg, talking about customer service, do you want to hire someone that's probably number one, good at customer service, leadership, customers first, and then teach them the collision industry? Or do you want to just try to find the collision person that's next door or this or that and teach them how to do customer service? That's your decision to make. But we like to hire the leaders, the motivators first, and then teach them the business.
I
I,
love it. I think one of the things is a mind block for a lot of leaders, and I struggle with this still to this day. But what really helped me is 80% done by somebody else is 100% awesome, right? Because a lot of times you become the bottleneck. It's like you're the bottleneck and you don't want to relent and let things go. Andy, how have you gotten good at letting people take things that maybe you feel like you could do better yourself right now, but how have you graduated your people into the roles that they're at right now?
They forced me.
I love it.
I guess what started out was we wrote down all the responsibilities that each of us did. And when we did that, of course, my list was gigantic. And I
Mhm.
knew I had to let go of things. And then so we started dividing into lanes. But then the best thing about it is when we had all our lanes, now we forced ourselves to stay in our lane. And so that was
Right.
the common mantra, stay in your lane, stay in your lane. So like
Yeah.
me, I wasn't allowed to go in the shops anymore and talk about policy or this or that. That wasn't my lane. It was okay. This person, you directing questions to certain people. It was hard, but then it built a culture. It built a culture where everybody knew everybody's place, and everybody that worked for me really was taking things out of my lane and challenging themselves
Yeah.
to be responsible for it. And that was the best thing. So now these meetings that we have, these accountability meetings every week, we're able to coach each other
Yeah.
on their lane and bring more people up into the business and constantly keep promoting because they're constantly learning and growing
Oh,
from
I love that. And personally for you, it must be very freeing to know that how you now have the ability to bring what you do best and can make the most positive impact on your organization. And you spend more time doing that and less of everybody else's jobs.
They asked me the question, Andy, what do you want to do in this company? And that was actually hard to figure out until I figured out what I wanted to do. And they said, okay, let us take care of the rest. And it's been fun.
That's amazing. That's amazing stuff. Well, I think we have one more little thought just to share with the crowd here. I know you've been working on calibrations and calibration
Yeah.
centers. Are you open to sharing a little bit about what you're doing there, Andy?
Well, yeah, we're building a national model, which is awesome. We are doing brick and mortar. So right now we have 5 locations that are open right now, brick and mortar. But hoping to have about 25 by the end of this year. And once again,
Wow.
it's about building the infrastructure. You find all these responsibilities that need to get done, and you automate it. You put people that are very specific into being in charge of certain things. The whole one throat to choke. You know, you don't
Right.
want a bunch of people doing the same thing. You want one person in charge. So that's the person that you talk to. And it's cool. So we're just buying up buildings and renovating them and turning them into calibration centers. And right now we're heavy in the Midwest, and about 2 more months we're going to be venturing out of the Midwest, which is awesome. I'm super stoked about it. It's going faster than I thought it was going to.
That's amazing. Andy, thank you so much, my friend, for jumping on, sharing your wisdom. And we're not even sure you're real. We think you might be AI right now. We're just
I'm trying.
Yeah, proud of you. Keep up the great work
Thank you,
you're
keep up
doing.
the great work, brother. I appreciate you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
Everybody, Andy Tylka.